Okay, so hi, my name is Kyung. I'm in California. Um, so I live in Irvine, and it's, for years people were saying, "Oh, Irvine is so not diverse." But honestly, I live in a place. When I walk out every day, I feel like I look around my neighborhood and it's just so diverse, and I see lots of different Asians, different nationalities, and it's just, to me, it's amazing. And then I look at the court reporting community, and I'm like, when I first started, I haven't been a court reporter that long. I mean, compared to some people who you do that round robin, like I've been a court reporter for 50 years. And I'm like, I've been a court reporter. I think I just broke 15 years or 17 years. I feel like I've been stuck at 15 years for a very, very long time. And so, but anyway, but when I first started out, there weren't very many. I feel like there weren't many Asian reporters, or I didn't know other Asian reporters. It just felt like our community, the court reporting community in general, not just Asian people in court reporting or Black people in court reporting or whoever in court reporters in general have always been so insular. I think that's the right word. And we never talk to each other. We'd go out to take our depot, and then we'd come back home, and we'd work on our transcripts, and we would never ever speak to each other. And it was, for a lot of people, court reporting is kind of a lonely profession. So when I first started court reporting, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not going to be that person. So whenever I would go out to depots, I would be up in people's faces. I'd be like, hey, are you a court reporter? Because you're sitting there, when we were actually allowed back in the world, and you're sitting there in a law office, and you see that woman or that gentleman, or and you're like, wait a minute, they've got a bag that's just like my bag. I bet they're a court reporter. They're either the court reporter or the videographer. So I'd run up to them and say, hey, are you a court reporter? Are you going to be here? Is your depot going to be all day? Do you want to do lunch? So, I've always really worked on making connections with people, because I feel like it's so important, just because, it is a lonely profession. And then we went into COVID, and it was like, oh my goodness, what are we, not only are we we're even more isolated. There's not even human contact or face-to-face, just in-person contact. And I know a lot of people were like, oh my goodness. And a lot of people were having a lot of problems with mental health, and they were just lonely. And so, I really appreciate people like Chris and all the people who are doing Zooms and, creating this online environment for us to come out and talk. And I think Facebook, I mean, I know Facebook is like for all the, it's kind of like for old people now, is my understanding. It's like, it's all about TikTok and Slack and God knows what else. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going to be a Luddite, and I'm just going to live on Facebook for the rest of my life. But I really enjoy Facebook. And it's a great opportunity, because there's so many different groups out there that you can join and learn. We've got, court reporting briefs or guardians of the record. And it's a community where we can talk to each other and express the frustrations of our day, because yes, some of us do have significant others, or they have family members, but let's be honest, our family members get tired of hearing us kind of moan and complain about that attorney who would just not take a break, and they don't really understand. They don't feel your pain like another court reporter will feel your pain, and I will be there to I know your pain. I will listen to your pain, and I will accept your pain and say, hey, it's going to get better. Or, you know what, just don't deal with them. Just don't take that job. Don't, because you don't have to. And it's a great way for people to learn. So I, personally am so grateful for this opportunity to talk to people online and to learn online. And I know in California, for the CSR, we don't have a CEU requirement, which I often think that it would be great if California, the CSR had a CEU component, because there's just so much that we need to learn as court reporters to be a well-rounded person, you know, not just, you know, not just going in and like writing the words and then going online and like trying to figure out what it is. There's just, you know, the more knowledge you have, the easier your job is going to be. And I think all of these resources we have now are so much, makes our lives so much easier. No longer are we having to go through like Dorlands or calling up the local pharmacist going, hey, I was doing this depo and they said this word and I don't know what it is. Do you know it? And you're just like, and there's like, why is this crazy lady calling me trying to find out this drug? What is she doing, you know? Or Google has been a godsend. Let's all admit it. You know, I know we all think that Google may be out to get us, but hell, you know, come on, Google is a godsend. I could not live without Google. I sit there and I'm in depot and a word comes up and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm in the hospital. What's that? Let me go Google that. So I'm like, you know, you're Googling, you're on your Zoom, and the world of court reporting has changed so much, and we are, as court reporters, we're keeping up, we're moving into the future. And I'm seeing more and more Asians. I'm no longer like the only Asian out there, because, you know, a lot of times I would go out to depots and are you so-and-so? And like, oh, no, that's another Asian court reporter, but you know, there's more, but that means there's at least two of us. And I used to be able to count on one hand. Okay, so I know there's 5 of us out there somewhere. And now it's like so many Asian people are coming into the field, and it's a really lucrative and it's a great field. You know, it's still true today what they told me 20 years ago, that you get to be your own boss, you get to make your hours, you can work when you want, you will work long hours, but you can take the time if you need it. And so, you know, sometimes it's like, I don't think I'm the best reporter. I think all of us have that little fear inside, unless we're Mark Kislingberry. But I think all of us have had days where like, I don't know about this. I am writing with my feet and this is not good. But I know how to get out a good transcript. I know where I can go to get help. I know that I can reach out to people online who will listen to me and get me. So, you know, there's no reason to be sitting in your room thinking, oh my God, this career is so lonely, or there's no one out there who's going to help me or understand where I'm coming from. And so it's really, I just, you know, even though we're in the Zoom pandemic kind of world, I feel like in some ways, we're closer than ever, and we are learning more about each other in terms of the conversations that we have online, you know, and now that we're moving back into quote unquote the real world, you know, having meetups and, you know, just meeting people online, meeting people in real life that you met online is just, it's just going to be so exciting. That's about it.